You have a YouTube channel? I'll have to check you out.
Yeah. So say hello, Miss Mion, because you're gonna be featured on my YouTube.
Yes. And what is it about?
So I have two YouTube channels. One is Breakfast with Beverly, which
good.
I don't cook. I do not cook on my channel. But what I do is I sit down and have my breakfast in my kitchen, and I talk about things that,
Okay.
that are kind of just going on.
Anywhere you go, put it on. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Beverly. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. If this is not your first time to my channel, welcome back. So, as always, before we get started, let's say grace. Heavenly Father, thank you for this food we are about to receive, for we are truly grateful and so very blessed. May this food nourish our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. Amen. So, as you guys might have heard, that I have been struggling with this channel, trying to figure out just how to develop it, how to bring more life to it. And I have been struggling a long time trying to just figure out what needs to change. What do I need to do better? What do I need to do differently? And I've come to the conclusion that it makes no sense to reinvent the wheel. I recently replanted this flower, this plant, and unfortunately these brown ones are some casualties. And normally I would pull them away and discard them in the trash, but something tells me that there's nutrients inside of these that this plant needs. And so I'm going to leave them in the bottom. And if I start to notice that it's not really helping, then I'll pull them out. But much like our trees and our plants that are naturally grown in nature, when the leaves fall to the ground, I'm almost certain that they serve a purpose. So maybe there's some nutrients in here that this plant needs from what is being discarded, except that I'm not going to put it in the trash. I'm going to leave it and see if things continue to get better. I have been struggling probably for about a year or so now. I would say since I've gone back to work and I'm no longer working remotely from home, I just don't have the time to try to turn this channel into a vlog. I'm not always with my camera. I'm not recording things that I probably should be recording, and it's just difficult. If you guys are an avid YouTube watcher and you watch other YouTubers talk about their channels and just, how difficult it is to film and to, try to capture moments, the editing, and just making time for it all, then you can understand. Most YouTubers who have succeeded, they have editors. I mean, they have a whole team of creators that they're working with. So aside from them sitting in front of the camera, they probably have people who are filming them, who are editing their videos. Okay, so this is another one of my plant babies. Actually, I just grew from a single leaf like this. And I've got some casualties in here as well. Now this one I haven't done anything to in a while, but I am noticing that the leaves are shedding, and maybe it has something to do with the fact that it's winter. I don't know, I have no idea. And maybe it has something to do with the fact that it's near this cool draft. But I've got a baby coming in right here. And I thought I saw another one, but maybe I didn't. But anyway, I'm gonna get it some water and see. It's not too dry. A couple of years ago, I repotted all of my house plants and I put rocks in the bottom mixed in the soil so the drain would be good. And especially because these pots that they're in are no drain pots. So I wanted the water to be able to reach the bottom and kind of away from the roots a little. I need to wipe these off. It's a little dusty. But she's growing quite beautifully. She's actually has a curved stump, and so I've been trying to get something to maybe stand it up right, which is actually why it's leaning against this wall unit, but we'll give it some water and see. I don't have any of that, and my job is very demanding. And aside from that, I try to balance my work life. And so, although I don't have much of a social life at the moment, I don't want to be consumed by work, or at the very least working for someone else. And I'm trying to develop my photography business. So if you guys haven't visited my other channel, Life Has No Color, make sure you do that and follow my journey. But it just makes sense for me to just sit down for a few minutes and in my kitchen and just talk about things that I want to talk about. And that's what this channel initially was. And I found myself trying to go with the crowd, and sometimes it's not worth going with the crowd. I've never been a follower. I've always had my own thoughts, my own feelings. I've always kind of, just, followed whatever inspiration I may have had to do things that other people weren't doing. Drink up, little one, drink up. Oh, got a lot of splash there on the wall. And this tree, it's a tree and not a plant. I discovered it some years ago, but it drinks a lot of water, and I really should water it more often. But right now, I usually just test the soil, and whenever it feels dry to the touch on the top, then I'll just go ahead and water it. But it looks good, and it's doing just great. And I just turned 50. I don't see any reason to stop now. So I think I'm just going to do what I've always done. And then if I'm ever inspired to do something differently with this channel, then I will do that. But I think for now, it just makes sense for me to just sit down and talk about my life lessons. All right, this one here, this is my baby. I had this tree since it was, I guess maybe it's a plant, not a tree. But then again, I don't know. Maybe it is a tree. I've had this since it was a seedling, and it takes up pretty much half of my kitchen. I don't know if you guys can see. Maybe I'll step back just a little bit to give you guys some perspective. But huge for sure. And I noticed that every now and again, these little seed things, they come in, they sprout on a tree. And I'm not exactly sure what they are. But I'm almost certain that they are probably bearing, they're seed bearing. Where if they fall to the ground or fall in soil, they will probably reproduce more of this tree. The problem is the tree is, or the plant, where these things are growing, if they fell, they're not actually falling in soil, but they're falling to the ground. And I'm going to do some research because I want to know how to grow them and what do I need to do. So I probably need to invest, I think, first into some planters, and then once I notice that they're falling or shedding, and maybe, you know, get them planted into some soil. And then who knows, maybe I'm supposed to pluck them before they actually fall. But I'm not sure. So, and there's quite a few of those. So right now I only see 3 vines that are producing. That's a lot. And then I've got a few of these dead leaves that I need to get plucked from the tree. I'm gonna cut them. I can't pluck them, but I'm gonna cut them. Just so the tree remains looking nice and green. This is one of the old seed bearings that I guess, you know, I never plucked after the berries fell, after the seeds fell. So I need to get that taken care of, so I'm going to do that now. I really want the channel to succeed because for whatever reason I love photography and videography, and I actually like being in front of the camera and having a message and inspiring others. I just don't have the time to jump out there and trying to be a super creator. This works for me. Just being in front of the camera, talking to you guys, trying to inspire you, it works for me. And I do want the channels to succeed, but I think more importantly, what's important is the message that I put out. I don't want to just make videos to make videos. I hope that my videos are inspiring. I hope that there's something that others will have in common with what I'm talking about, and and the things that I'm learning in life. And I'm just hoping to create some connections from it. And that's really what I wanted to do initially. I think that a lot of people, when especially people in the entertainment industry, and I don't know because I've never been an entertainer, but I've heard that, if you've been blessed with a singing voice, let's just say, and you want to sing, you want to create music, and you have a passion for a particular type of music, once you get into the entertainment industry, there's all kinds of pressure to maybe sing this kind of music, or maybe to do this kind of music, or maybe not just to sing, but maybe to act and to, go in a different direction than what you were led to do. And in a lot of cases, it could end up bad for people. People have, been depressed. People have committed suicide. People have, gotten on drugs, and developed other bad habits. I don't want that. I've never wanted that for myself. And so I am called back to the reason that this all started. This one looks like it's on its way out, but I am going to leave it for just a little while. And then this one here, I'm just not sure. This branch is actually broken, the reason that it's tied up there. And so let's get this one off. And some of these sticks. So these are actually sticks from leaves that I cut once before. And then I got a little tiny one in here that's dying. Let me get that cut off. All right. Well, nice and beautiful again. But I just want to be able to inspire people and to talk about the lessons that I'm learning and just take people on my own personal journey. And hopefully, as I said, that in the process, I'll create some connections, and hopefully those connections are positive connections. And that's all I really wanted. And so I don't want the pressure of trying to be like some other YouTuber or trying to do what some other channel is doing. There's definitely nothing wrong with challenging yourself to do more or to be better. And there's definitely nothing wrong with being inspired by others and kind of venturing out. But I would say the most important thing is to remember why you did it in the first place. Remember why you started, because I think that's probably the most important part. And I would even go even further than that to say it's not probably, but it probably, that it's not probable. Not probably, but it is the most important part of any journey. All right, so there she is. After her trimming, nice and beautiful, full and green and luscious. This one here, like I said, I'm gonna leave that for a little while. It's really looking like it's on its way out, but I'll leave it for just a little while longer. In anything that you do. So just be inspired, and stay true to yourself. I think that that's the other important part of it, that it really just comes back to you being true to yourself. Now, if you started this to make money and you're willing to do whatever you need to do to make money, then I can see being led in those directions. But if your passion is bigger than that, if it's more than that, if it's really something within that is giving you purpose, then stay true to that. And that's what I'm going to do. So I appreciate you guys checking in, following along, visiting me and hanging out with me and allowing me the opportunity to talk to you guys for a few minutes. I hope you stick around. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you guys on the next one. But as always, before I go, to give you something positive, just to reiterate what I said, be true to yourself. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, so this one, I'm told blooms will come back when it gets warmer outside. So for right now, she's just kind of hanging out. And this one is actually a really easy one to take care of. It just requires 3 ice cubes once a week. So I typically will put a cube here, and then one there, and then one on the other side here. And you know, her leaves are nice and thick. You actually feel rubbery and nice and thick and healthy. And hopefully her blooms will come back soon too. I probably should spend a little time getting those sprigs off up there, but for now I'll let it be.
Anywhere you go, give it all.